A 13-year-old boy is crowned king. His hands are already numb. His face will soon be disfigured. And the most powerful general of the age is preparing to destroy his kingdom. This king is dying of leprosy. Yet for over a decade, he will outmaneuver rival nobles, defeat Saladin in battle, and hold Jerusalem together through sheer force of will. This is the story of Baldwin IV, the Leper King who refused to surrender. By the late 12th century, the kingdom of Jerusalem was fragile. It was surrounded by enemies, dependent on uneasy alliances, and torn apart by powerful nobles competing for influence. When King Amalric I died in 1174, stability vanished overnight. The crown passed to his only son. Baldwin IV was just 13, and he was already sick. Baldwin was born in 1161 to King Amalric and Agnes of Courtenay, but his parents' marriage collapsed early. When Baldwin was just 2 years old, Amalric and Agnes separated, and his mother was effectively excluded from court politics. This left Baldwin raised within a divided royal family, a pattern that would define his entire reign. At 9 years old, Baldwin was sent to be educated by William of Tyre, one of the greatest scholars and historians of the Crusader world. It was William who noticed something deeply wrong. While other boys reacted to pain, Baldwin did not. His nerves were failing. The signs of leprosy were already there. Despite growing concerns, Baldwin's illness was not formally acknowledged until tragedy struck. In 1174, King Amalric died. Baldwin ascended the throne. Only then was the truth undeniable. The new king of Jerusalem had leprosy. In the medieval world, this was not just a disease, it was a sentence. Leprosy meant isolation, weakness, and an early death. Many expected Baldwin to be replaced, but instead he was crowned. Jerusalem now belonged to a dying child. Because of his age, Baldwin ruled through regents. First came Miles of Plancy, whose authority was deeply resented. Then Raymond III of Tripoli, a seasoned noble with experience and ambition, took control as regent. During these years, Baldwin observed everything. He learned how power worked. He learned who could be trusted. And he learned that unity, not strength, was Jerusalem's greatest weakness. In 1176, Baldwin reached the age of majority. He took control himself. As Baldwin began to rule independently, his disease worsened. His hands became disfigured. Sensation faded. His condition was now visible to everyone. Marriage was impossible. Baldwin knew he would die young and leave no heir. His solution lay with his sister, Sibylla. If she married well, Baldwin could abdicate peacefully and prevent chaos. In 1176, Sibylla married William of Montferrat. For the first time, Baldwin saw a way out. But within a year, William was dead. The kingdom was once again without a future, and Baldwin remained king. To the south, a formidable enemy was rising. Saladin, ruler of Egypt, was uniting Muslim forces and expanding his power. In 1177, he launched an invasion of Jerusalem's lands. He expected little resistance. Instead, Baldwin personally led his army. At the Battle of Montgisard, Baldwin, still a teenager, defeated Saladin decisively, aided by Reynald of Châtillon. It was one of Saladin's most humiliating defeats. The Leper King had become a symbol of defiance across the Crusader world. Despite victory, Jerusalem remained unstable. Nobles plotted constantly. Alliances shifted. Loyalty was fragile. Fearing a coup by Raymond of Tripoli and Bohemond III of Antioch, Baldwin made a rushed decision. In 1180, Sibylla married Guy of Lusignan. The marriage was meant to secure the throne. Instead, it divided the kingdom further. Guy was widely disliked. He challenged Baldwin's authority and alienated powerful nobles. Though Baldwin wished to abdicate, he couldn't. Without him, the kingdom would collapse. By 1182, Baldwin's condition was severe. He could barely ride. He could barely see. Yet he still repelled Saladin at the Battle of Le Forbelet. In 1183, unable to walk, Baldwin was carried in a litter across the desert to lift Saladin's siege of Kerak. Even at the brink of death, Baldwin remained the kingdom's unifying force. Knowing his time was nearly over, Baldwin acted decisively. He disinherited Guy of Lusignan. He crowned Sibylla's young son, Baldwin V, as co-king. And he arranged for Raymond III of Tripoli to rule as regent. It was the last attempt to save Jerusalem from itself. Baldwin IV died in early 1185, not yet 24 years old. 2 years later, Jerusalem was shattered at the Battle of Hattin. But for 11 extraordinary years, a dying king held back the inevitable. Baldwin IV never ruled with strength of body. He ruled with strength of will. And that is why history remembers him as the Leper King who defied Saladin.